Hello everybody and welcome to this week's WOOLCAST. We put a vote out on Twitter during the week to ask you guys what you'd like us to talk about, and it was a landslide, and the winner of that vote was transfers. So I brought in the big guns this week to talk transfers, and I've got Grizz, Ian, Gav and Ben. And I know it's been covered a lot, but there's only one place to start, and that's with Virgil van Dijk. Gav, you've been away in your jolly bobs. We haven't had a chance to talk to you. What's your take on the situation, buddy?
Virgil van Dijk, I personally think it's still on. That's not many information I got. I think it's just a gut feeling I have. While I was away, I did do a video with regards to transfers, and I went against everything I usually do when I came out and more or less called that Van Dijk and Salah would sign and put a kind of figure on. I don't think the figure's that far off for what it could end up if it does happen. But the Van Dijk thing itself was basically just one person within Liverpool Football Club, from what's being said, opening their mouth too early. The way that transfer was progressing is the way any transfer progresses. You speak to a player, you get an agreement with him, you go back to his club, you more or less inform them that, look, this chap wants to sign for us, and you get the deal done with regards to fees, add-ons, whatever else. It happens up and down the country all the time. We are just unfortunate. Probably not unfortunate, but we deserved it. I think we deserved what was coming to us because we probably got a little bit cocky on it. But apparently we've withdrawn interest. I don't believe that. I think we've just gone back to square one now. And Southampton aren't going to get the bidding war they want. I think Van Dijk has more or less told the people that matter where he wants to go. And I think it'll just be a case of Liverpool putting in the bid and probably having to throw them an extra few quid for it to be done. But I'm still hopeful on it.
There's a couple of things actually you mentioned in your video, and I just want to bring that back. There's just a couple of points on that video. First one up, I think I speak for everybody when I say, what the fuck were you doing picking up the pint, looking at it and putting it back down without taking a sip?
Don't know. You see, I get given out to on this pod all the time because my microphone rubs against my beard sometimes. And I was afraid if I picked up the drink, you'd hear the gulp of the pint going down. And then I was afraid I wouldn't stop drinking it because they were really nice. So I just thought, put the fucking thing down. So I did. But thanks for bringing that up. Second
point, again, back to the video. It was an absolutely beautiful spot. I know you're over in Salou, so the name of the bar?
Oh, Shankly's. Yeah, great place. Dottie and Chris are the owners. They're there. I think they're there 16 years, they were telling me. Really great. Some of the memorabilia is unbelievable. I think they were saying that, I think it was 3 jerseys combined between them on the ceiling that worth around between 10 and 12 grand between the three of them. So some of the stuff, there's some original stuff from the old boot room and the main stand. You'd have to see it to believe some of the stuff, But no, great spot. They were really welcoming. They had no problem with us doing the video. I told them to give them a mention, and I'm doing it again because they were really good, both of them.
The video Gav's talking about, by the way, just in case any listeners don't know, is we recently started a YouTube channel called ARW Now, and there's a thing we have it's actually proven very popular at the minute. It's called the LFC. What are we calling it, Gav? Actually, I've completely lost my train of thought here. The Worldwide View, excuse me. It's ARW Worldwide View, and we've got fans from around the world to send us in little videos, 5 to 8 minutes long, about their thoughts and what they're thinking is happening around the club at the minute. It's going really, really well. So if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. It's ARW Now. You'll get to see videos from Reds all around the world, and you'll get to see Gav picking up his pint and not drinking it, which is priceless. One of my favourite moments so far of the videos.
Don't worry, it disappeared very, very quickly when I pressed stop.
I well believe it, Gav. I well believe it, my friend. Ben, what's your take on the Van Dijk situation? Are you in the same camp as Gav and think eventually it'll get over the line?
I am actually, yeah. There's a lot of negativity on Twitter at the minute where they think it's long gone, but I can't see it being completely gone. I know it's quite damning what they put in the statement, and it's an official statement, and saying that they've ended interest is quite worrying. That it's not we're not backing off for now. It sounds like set in stone that we're backing off, but I don't think we will. There's Graham Kelly on Twitter still very adamant it's going through, so I'm in that camp completely. I'm still believing it's going to come off. Plus, I think even if it don't, with the fact that he's spoken to Klopp and he really wants to play under Klopp and come and play in the Champions League for Liverpool, I think that'd be quite hard for him to set his heart back at Southampton now and not not just, I don't know, have to be a bit of a bastard now, put the transfer request in if Southampton don't want to allow it, and just go for it. I agree with Gav as well. I think we're going to have to pay for our eyeballs to get him now, but there we go. It'll be worth it.
The part of it that not bugs me, but the part of it that I'm finding very hard to swallow is this grovelling apology, because I've never seen it really done in the Premier League before, and I know there's clubs have done it around the world before, but it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem needed, and it just doesn't seem something I expected the club to do to the extent that they've done it. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have maybe said something behind the scenes or put out something, but they really seem to be adamant and unequivocal that they are ending their interest in the player. And that's something that I suppose many people and journalists and stuff are covering, that will look foolish if we go back in. Now, Gav, is there any way that the club can go back in and not look like idiots?
Oh yeah, with the right amount of money, yeah, there's no problem with going back in. The apology, the wording of it was a bit strange, I'll admit that. But you see, I have to remember, if we put comments associated with or accredited to Virgil van Dijk into the public domain, okay, and basically mess with Southampton's head, we have to publicly come out and give a statement. We can't do it behind closed. We can't come out in public and tell everyone how good we are and then sneak into the shadows and, make an apology to Southampton.
I agree with that.
So look, the apology is all there. It's there for a couple of reasons. One, cover your own arse. That's what you're doing. You're literally covering yourself. And two, it's letting Southampton know, look, and it's given kind of Southampton what they want in the case of we stood up to Liverpool and we got our apology. It's all playing to their fans. That's basically what it is. And they done well in it. But look, I'm not being funny. If Liverpool rock up at Southampton tomorrow and say, listen, the original deal was worth 50 million with add-ons, including add-ons, but we're going to make it 60. They walk out with it with the Virgil van Dijk. It's as simple as that.
Ian, would you agree with this, mate? Do you think, like Ben and Gav, that it's not finished and there's still legs in this one?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're men, aren't we? We've all gave apologies that we don't mean to get what we want. So I think, like they've said there, like the lads have said, they'll have been advised what needs to be said to stop it going any further, like legality wise, and then they will go back. And I dare say there's not exactly like an amazing amount of tall, quick centre backs doing the rounds. It's not like we can just drop our interest and go and find someone else. The people that we're getting linked with instead of him are just cart horses. It's not like for like. So I'd rather spend an extra 10 million, get the man that Klopp wants. So we've had to say sorry. All right, we look a bit stupid, but it's Liverpool, innit? We do stuff like that every 6 months. We wheel something out. If it's not looking in air on a motorbike, it'll be something else. Do you know what I mean? So get the man you want. Right,
do you think, Ian, do you think it was out of being scared of getting a transfer ban? Do you think there's anything in that?
I mean, I don't know how far it can go. We have just got done for the ban from signing kids, haven't we? So soon after that, it doesn't look too good. But like I said on that vlog the other day, there's not a club in the country that doesn't do exactly what we've just done. I just think someone has just broke the news early because they just want to be Billy Big Spuds. That's all it is. Rather than just keep their mouth shut, sit on the information for a couple of days. We're in the information age now, aren't we? So everyone just wants to break news before everybody else. It's, you know what I mean? And in this instance, it's cost us to getting the transfer over the line. Like, I think we'll do it. It'll cost us a bit of money, and we've got a bit of egg on our faces. But like I say, can you think of another centre back in world football who's 6'3", 6'4", and can run like him and head like him? I can't think of anyone who we can just move on to. So
no.
He's worth biting the bullet for, isn't he?
Absolutely. One thing, in my point of view, is if he comes, if he needs a fucking haircut, I'm not having another man bun. I'm sorry, I've had enough of them. Moreno's fucking going off with them man buns.
Will you stop? You can turn up and look like Freddie Mercury for all I care once you play centre half.
I'm not fucking having it. I've had enough of man buns. They're done.
He can have a pink man bun if he wants.
Ian is right though. Ian is right. It's along the lines of what myself and Ben have said. Somebody wanted to break that story, and someone within the club decided that they were going to be fucking Billy Big Bollocks, and they're going to, I'm going to tell someone, and I'm the man that broke this transfer story. The procedure Liverpool followed up until this person, whoever it is, came out with this line, there was no issues with it. Okay, so if this person doesn't say this transfer just goes along as every other transfer goes along, and it's done. It was in place. It was everything. It was done. So it was basically just one person being really, really stupid and bringing something into the public domain that if he stays quiet, this whole thing goes through. And at the end of it, this person still could have come out and said, "Oh well, he told Liverpool that he wanted to play for them." Or Virgil van Dijk could have been sitting in the LFC studio, with the black background and the fancy lights, saying, "Oh well, I met Klopp and I told him I wanted to play for him," and that could have been the big line out of the interview. But they got ahead of themselves. But it still happens for me. It still happens, and I think he's the number one target. And I listened to the Van Dijk podcast just done some stage last week, wasn't it? It was really good. But like Andy was saying there last week, all these names that are being bandied about, don't believe them, because as Andy said, type his name into these football comparison websites, 5 or 6 names come up, and these 5 or 6 names are being dotted around Twitter all day, every day, and it's all complete crap.
Tell you what gets me the most about this situation, and we've all said we're all grown ups here. Tapping up happens all the time. It's rife throughout football, but that's what really annoyed me about the statement we put out. The FA or the Premier League won't have the balls to do Liverpool for tapping them up because it opens up a can of fucking worms that they don't want to go near. Because it's, as we said, it's rife. If they do Liverpool on it, they're going to have to look at every fucking transfer over the last 10 years. So I think Liverpool, whatever about apologising to Southampton behind the scenes, should have called the Premier League's bluff and said, "Fuck you, you're not going to have the balls to come and do us for this because you know damn well what goes on at every other club."
Yeah, but Craig, you have to understand, if Liverpool don't come out with that statement, right? Say they don't come out with the statement, say Southampton just decide, well, we're not going to put in a complaint, but you know what, we're going to be absolute arseholes about this now. All right? And they just keep rejecting bid after bid from Liverpool, and City walk in and go, how much of Liverpool bid? 55, we'll give you 50. And they sell him to them on spite. And that's where I think.
That's if Van Dijk wants, like, if Van Dijk digs his heels in though and says he's only going to Liverpool, then Southampton have trouble.
No. Listen, if he has said he wants to play for Liverpool, it's because Klopp has sold him a vision, a project that he really thinks can go, step after step, Champions League, qualification, group stages, progress through that, get better in league, win cups, whatever it is. But you have to remember, these players, give them enough money and they'll sign for anyone. Anyone thinking that Van Dijk is now loyal to Liverpool, you want to have a word with yourself, because if Southampton decide that we're just going to reject any Liverpool bid out of hand, but we have a figure in our head for another club to come in, that club will come in and they'll pay him and he'll go. As simple as that.
And the clubs actually have quite a bit of say in that as well, because I was reading I can't think what the book's called now. The book Ring of Fire. But Michael Owen was adamant when he left Real Madrid, he wanted to come back to Liverpool, and he told him he wouldn't leave anywhere except Liverpool. But because Newcastle bid slightly higher, the club made him leave for Newcastle, not Liverpool. So the club also has quite a bit of say on whether he digs his heels and says, "I don't want to do this, don't want to do that." They can pretty much force people to go. So
I think, when a player, we done it with Gareth Barry a few years ago, didn't we? Got Gareth Barry to come out and say all types of stuff, and then we ballsed up and dropped him in the shit. So I think after a while, I think it becomes unattainable for the player to stay there, whether he comes to the side he originally wanted to or not. If he puts a transfer request in and he kicks his heels and starts sulking around the training pitch and stuff like that, whether Liverpool get what they want or not, then that player's made it. He's almost like burnt his bridges. He's got to leave. So over a period of time, if another team comes in who wasn't his first choice, he'll still think, well, that's better than staying here now. I've pissed everyone off. So I think eventually, I'll be very surprised if he's at that club next season. Even if he's not with us, I just can't see how we can, because he hasn't come out and he hasn't disrespected them. He hasn't made any statements, but he will do eventually if he thinks he's being dragged over the coals and stuff.
All it'll take is a bid for Liverpool in the region of 50 million all in, and Southampton to refuse it, and then he'll start kicking off. There's nothing sure. There's absolutely nothing sure.
So, Grizz, you haven't come in yet. I'm going to come to you on this. So, if we're saying that we think there's a deal to be done here with Southampton, and could take an extra few million, why aren't we going to Southampton now and spending 60 million rather than waiting until the 31st or the 30th of August and trying to get him for 57? Why aren't we going now and paying that fucking 60 million and getting the player that will do everything Klopp wants? It'll get the fan base on side. It'll get Klopp summer spending off to a great start. Klopp will get the full pre-season with him. Everybody will be happy over the sake of what is pittance to a Premier League football club, which is 3 million quid. Now, that's just me spouting figures out my arse, but you get where I'm coming from.
Cooling off period. That's all it is, Craig, at the moment, in my opinion. Again, nothing ITK about this, guys, before we get lynched on it, but just my opinion, it's gone balls up. In my opinion, he spoke to Southampton. Are aware that he spoke to other clubs. Southampton were always going to sell him this summer. They knew that their most prized asset will be the subject of high bids from all these big clubs. Right? He spoke to everyone. Klopp sold him the best deal, the best idea. He said, "I've agreed to Klopp." But as you guys have all said, it's come out, right? What Southampton, in my opinion, were pissed off about, it's the timing of it, right? It's normal as who done the video? It was Ian, wasn't it? Yeah, it's normal. What happened? That transfer was going along absolutely as normal as most transfers do. Southampton knew they got a prized asset that's for sale. What's happened is it's coincided with Southampton getting rid of their coach as well. So it's like double embarrassment for them. So they've sacked their coach, and now their best players come out and said, "I've already chosen my club. Fuck yous as well." All Southampton
the owners just got done for tax evasion as well.
The owners got done as well. It was just bad. It's just Liverpool. It's just a fucking typical Liverpool scenario where we were just it was just bad timing on our part. They wanted a bidding war. All that's happened now is we have to pay a premium for him now. Like a sorry. You know when you like upset the missus, right? You say sorry, and then you got to just buy her extra present. You got to spend a bit more to make her a bit happy. That's what you got to do. That's all we got to do is give them an extra 10 million, 10, 50 million. He'll be ours, in my opinion. There's no doubt about it. It's just the apology. What's pissing off? To me, it's not really pissing me off, to be honest with you. I don't know why a lot of the fans are so pissed off about this, the statement that Liverpool made. I think that was a bit amateurish. I think that came from John Henry himself, a bit amateurish in terms of slightly panicked, not knowing exactly how the system and law works. We've been banned from the kids. This following up with that would have looked bad. I think he just quickly just sort of wanted to just put it to bed for the time being. Everyone's gone back to base. Everyone's gone back to their bases. I think that a deal will be concluded. It's going to take time. It's going to take another couple of weeks. It might even go to the end, Craig. I know we want it all done and let's go and give them the money. It's not going to work like that. It's just everyone's letting sort of things simmer down. And we'll end up with Van Dijk. There's no doubt about that, in my opinion.
It's like a means to an end, isn't it? Sorry, mate. It's like a means to an end. If the apology gets the transfer over the line, then it's fine, isn't it? But if the apology, we've had to make the apology and then we still don't sign him at the end of the summer, then it carries a bit more weight. We look a bit, you know what I mean, a bit more stupid.
Then we look like tits.
Still complete the deal.
Yeah. Then we look like tits.
Yeah, but there's no way we didn't take advice on this statement. There's no way we just wrote that down on the back of a cigarette box and said, right, someone typed that out and lashed it out on the internet. We took advice.
Basically,
we took advice on that. And you're right in what you're saying, a cooling off period. I agree with you. I think both clubs kind of settle down and then, just give it a little bit of time. I don't think it's going to. I don't know if Klopp will be happy with it dragging on all the way through the summer. I think he wants a squad in place for probably late July. I can't see him letting this run right up in the transfer when the transfer deadline day and stuff.
But apparently Klopp stepped in. Apparently Klopp has stepped in and absolutely was livid with what's happened and what's not happened. And
so he should be, because a member of his staff or somebody within that club has come out with that statement and given it to the red top, tabloid idiots, and they've ran with it and they've made a brilliant story of it. But if you just look at a comparison, if you look at supposedly, I don't know if the deal is done or not because I don't pay attention to United's, but Morata apparently is a done deal to United, okay? And the words out of their mouth was he has agreed a deal with United. He's just waiting for United to agree a deal. Now, that's exactly what we were doing.
Exactly the same.
Exactly what we were doing. Except somebody came out and went, he said he wants to sign for Liverpool. And no agreement was meant to be in place. So it's the exact same transfer, except for one idiot opening their mouth.
I just want to pull back there a second ago to where I think it might have been Grizz that said Klopp was livid. We don't know this. This is, again, just speculation because none of us actually know what was said. So I just don't want to cross.
No, we don't.
I don't want to cross the line into the kind of ITK side of things.
No.
This is all just our opinion.
No, but you have to remember, if Klopp's not upset by this, there's something wrong. Okay? He's had a meeting with a player. Everyone knows he's had a meeting with a player. He's told the player what he wants to do. The player's happy with it. Everyone just stay quiet. We'll go and do the deal. And then the player can say whatever he likes.
Now,
answer
me this, lads. You just gave a perfectly good example of Morata and them saying he's gone. Fucking Lukaku was on television last week saying that his next club is sorted out. Everything is agreed.
Yeah.
It's all good to go. Like, surely the fuck that's tapping up as well if you've ever seen it. Like,
but he hasn't said the club though, has he?
Well, that's the thing. He's basically said that the deal's being done. So whoever he signs for, it's got to be...
But Craig, you have to remember, say for argument's sake he goes back to Chelsea, okay? Which it's looking more and more likely that he will. There was rumour of United, but I don't know if he'll go and play for Mourinho. I think Mourinho was the one
my point, Gav, is how is this deal not fucked up? We fucked up with Van Dijk.
Oh, no, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. If he goes and signs for Chelsea, what's to stop Everton putting in some sort of complaint against Chelsea? And going back to the date, when he said this and said, look, this player said his new club was sorted. And on X date and on Y date was the first time we heard from Chelsea, so we want to know what was going on.
But then they would have done that before they sold him, before they agreed the deal to be done. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they go and sell him to Chelsea now tomorrow, and then the week after that say we're putting in...
Yeah, they can't moan. That's
fair enough. I wish that had happened with fucking Van Dijk. Happily sign him and then let them report us.
But for all you know, Everton could be waiting for that bid to come in. Everton know all the information. Wait for the bid to come in, and as soon as the bid comes in, turn to the FA and say, listen, we have a bid from this club, and we have this player telling the media for the last 2 weeks he knows where he's going. So they've been speaking to him, and we didn't know anything about it, and we want something done about it.
That's my point about the whole situation where we could have called the Premier League's bluff because it's too much of it going on. It's, as you've given two easy examples there within the last 5 minutes that have happened already in the transfer window. So
but you have to remember, this probably wasn't a statement for the FA. This was a statement for Southampton. This was a statement to say, basically, in my opinion now, was we still want this player. We are going to say this, and we're going to make you look good out of all this, and then we go back and we do the deal.
That's what problem with the apology. The problem for me is that one line, ending our interest in the player. That line, for me, is the stupid line. That shouldn't be there. If we're going to go, if we've any intention of going back in, fair enough, come out with an apology. We were caught with our pants down, came out too early, whatever. Grand, no problem with that. My problem is how stupid we're going to look if we go back in from... Now, don't get me wrong, I look stupid. I'd rather look stupid with Van Dijk in my team than not look stupid without him in the team. But that one line just wrangles with me, and I just can't get my head around it.
It's got the makings, that statement's got the makings of a panicky statement. You know, the pressure was on, it just came out. There was a big hoo-ha all around because you got to remember the press all came out with it at that same time, didn't they? It was all simultaneous, like 5:30 or something.
And it was how we did it as well, Grizz. We just dumped it on the website. There was no fanfare about the statement.
So, you know, I think it was and I have seen people mention that it was from the top. Like there was like John Henry straight away or Werner straight away said, look, we need to end this, nip it in the bud before it explodes. And yeah, I reckon there was advice. It has to be. There's got to be advice taken on this. There has
to be the voice.
There's got to be. It's got to be advice situation.
Absolutely.
What is the best thing to do in this situation?
It's straight away.
Apologize. Look, fuck it. Let's go back to base. That's all they've done. Let's go back to base. You're right. The end line where it says, you know, there's no more interest. Yeah, it looks a bit silly, but as you said, I ain't got no problems looking silly with Van Dijk in my team.
Right, we got to push on from this because we spoke about Van Dijk a lot, but I have to ask this question because I was asked to ask it by a couple of people on Twitter, and I feel it's only fair that I bring it across. Why do we keep making these fuck-ups in the transfer market, or why do we keep pretending or feigning interest in players or putting in low offers and then walking away? I feel we have to sort of address this subject. Do we ever have an intention of signing these players? Like, just as an example, there was a story after breaking about us apparently giving our interest in Mbappe, and that we have an interest in Mbappe now. I can't remember. It could have been the Times. It could have been the Express. I'm not sure what paper it came out of. But does any of us in our right mind actually believe that we have any intention of going and signing Kylian Mbappe?
I believe we've registered our interest.
So you honestly believe that we're going to throw 100 million down on the table, 100 million euros or whatever?
No. I believe that we're interested, but I don't think we'll be paying anything like that. Not at all. Be one hell of a statement if we could get him to come to us.
Do you know the story? Sorry, Ben, go ahead.
No, you're right.
This story that's broken about Mbappe.
I don't want to get hung up on Mbappe here, lads, either, by the way.
No. We just use him as an example, right? Okay, Mbappe, Salah, Keita, name whoever you want to link to. Have you seen one notable quote from anyone involved around any of them players?
Well, let's go back then and we look at Salah Mark 1 a few years ago. We look at Teixeira. We look at Konoplyanka. We know that we had discussions for those players.
William.
And we still fucked them up.
No.
By lowballing.
We had discussions with these players, right?
Salah's agent came out and said that we made a hames of it the last time.
Loads of clubs have discussions with loads of players all the time.
But we needed these players.
This is where the madness sets in and people just go into a complete frenzy. All I'm asking is, not to yourselves here with me now, anybody out there, can you give me one reliable, direct quote from any of these players, their agents, either club involved, their teammates, their mother, their brother, their sister? Can you give me one quote that actually shows any sort of concrete information with regards to that transfer?
Yeah, Salah's agent.
Which one, Gav?
Okay, what did Salah say?
Obviously, I'm going to be spitballing here because I haven't got the information in front of me. But Salah's agent came out and said we dicked about on the money with Rome, or with who was he with at the time?
Basel.
Fiorentina.
Basel. Yeah, Basel. Yeah.
We dicked around at the time. Chelsea came in with a decent offer and got the job done over the line, even though we'd been talking for months with his agent and trying to wrangle a deal.
Look, Craig's right, Gav.
No, but what I'm saying is, what I'm talking about is this summer, since the day the season ended, we've been linked with all sorts of players, and I've read articles.
You want to know about this online.
All I'm asking is, have we got one quote from anybody directly linked to any of these players that shows any substance in these transfer stories?
But I think that's getting away from the point that I'm trying to make. The point that I said originally was, why do we keep getting in these situations where we're fucking up transfers?
Well, I've got a theory on that.
What my point is. My point is that nobody knows if we fucked up any transfers here.
Nobody knows.
No, but the Gav.
Hold on, Virgil van
Dijk, Salah, Konoplyanka.
Yeah, he's talking about past ones, Gav.
The questions aren't about... The question I'm asking from Twitter that people asked me to ask wasn't about this transfer window.
Why do we mess up?
It's why do we always put ourselves in these situations where we know we've a keen interest in a player. And
Gav, pick up that beer while I answer it.
And it's killing me to ask this question because I'm with you, Gav.
Well, I'll tell you what is
interest in a lot of this, and I think that the club have genuinely tried. But we still need to address, because we've been asked to, why sometimes we're in these situations where we clearly want a player, but we lowball or we fuck about. That's all I'm asking, and that's on behalf of listeners.
Does that not happen to every single club, every top side?
And that's fair enough.
Don't you remember
Robinho
was signing for Chelsea, wasn't he? And then 2 minutes later signed for City, and then thought he was at Chelsea because he was an idiot. Or then you've got Griezmann.
Willian was at Spurs, wasn't he? before.
Griezmann's supposed to be fucking wearing a Man United training top now. They announced that.
It happens at every club. Right?
We've just got so many fans.
So are we all happy then that it's not a Liverpool-related problem? That it's
not a Liverpool problem.
And it does happen to all clubs, but just it's intensified more in Liverpool fan base.
It happens to all clubs. But Craig, you have to remember, right? If I tell you that Stoke City go in and make a bid for a player that's worth 10 million and they bid 8 million, nobody fucking cares for Stoke City when they made that bid, all right? If Liverpool go in and bid 50 million for a player that's worth 70 million, everyone cares. Why? Because, the club are apparently passing it off as, look, we're showing interest. I hate the fucking word monitoring. We're showing a keen interest or this, and then the other side come in and go, well, they're not spending enough, and they're this and they're that. And so it causes a massive hysteria. And if Liverpool do it, it's huge. If Stoke City does it, nobody even fucking, it doesn't register. So this is what I'm trying to say about these transfers. Like, people just need to calm down. Nobody knows. I get your point with regards to Salah so many years ago and Konoplyanka and these things, but you have to remember the Konoplyanka one in particular. The owner of his club was really, really difficult to deal with.
Yeah, he does need the money. Yeah, that lad is minted.
No, he didn't need the money, but he was really, really difficult to deal with. The Salah one, I don't know if he made him an offer. I'm not 100%.
No, do you know what it is? In my opinion,
I think Chelsea did make him an offer and he took it. But no, look, we get things wrong. All clubs get things wrong. But it's not as if they're trying to get it wrong. It's not as if they're going out and saying, let's get this wrong. It happens. You can go in and think, we're going to spend this money, and the other club says, no, we want this. You've seen it today. We're at to being apparently made a bid for some player I've never heard of that plays for Lazio, and apparently they value him now at 70 million euros. Do you know what I mean?
Craig.
Now, the normal person will think, hold on, he's probably worth 25. All the experts think he's worth 25. All within the club or scouting networks think he's worth 25. And this club has gone and said, no, we value him at 70. And you will have supporters going, they won't spend the money. Like, it's fucking madness.
Grizz?
Look, I think it's simple, and people just absolutely confuse the fuck out of themselves and their heads just by going mental, right? We're Liverpool fans, right? So we only, near enough, most of us, just look at the Liverpool side of transfers, how we have dealings in past with players and whatnot, right? Every club, as Ian said, every club goes into the transfer market and tries to get the best deal for their budget. Okay, that's what it is. Every team has a budget. Every team has a wage cap. Every team has a negotiating, how much they're going to play the agent, how much they're going to play the team, transfer fees, whatever, right? We only focus and notice ours, and therefore we think no one else has got that problem. For example, some guys were saying, oh, look at United have bought that Lindelof. Oh, look at that. No worries for Man United. They just went in there, bought them 30 million back. No, they fucking didn't. They've been trying to buy him since December. I've had issues, blah, 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 blah. I've got like 20 United mates, right? Unfortunately, right? That tell us how they've tried to sign him, couldn't agree a fee. Then Benfica didn't want to let him go. Every club has issues. What's the most frustrating for me? I say ignore the people that say, oh, why do we fuck up? Every team fucks up. But what's the most frustrating for me, and hopefully for most rational fans, LFC fans, is that FSG have messed up in the past. Yes, they have. We have to admit that. But then we have to realize we haven't got sugar daddies or massive owners that don't give a shit about spending that extra 10, 15 million that you said. We need to watch what we spend. It's like going into a supermarket with 20 quid in your pocket. You're not going to go to you're going to start off by trying to see how much you get the pound bargains. It's natural. It's simple as that. We have had budgets in the past. We have been careful with wages, whatnot. Where I think we have to sort of question FSG now, and this is why I've said time and time and again, in my opinion, where this summer is different is that the main stand is complete now, right? We've apparently budgeted for the new training facility, right? We are now in Champions League. We've actually reached the Champions League. We have this millions of this Sky money coming in, the TV money. Now we're in a position to inquire about the likes of Mbappe. Now, whether Mbappe comes or not, right, we know we're probably the least favourites out of the big boys. But for me, it's encouraging, Craig, that the fact that we have entered into this big boys league, people are saying, "Oh, bollocks." Well, listen, we put our, we go out and try for about 4 or 5 big boy deals. 1 or 2 will come off, and that's all we need. If we're in the market for Van Dijk, if we're in the market for, we haven't been in the market for these type of players for years. We look at the 20 to 30 million max. Now we're making noises. People are still criticizing. They've made mistakes in the past, but you have to give them the benefit of the doubt in terms of they didn't have the spending power of the likes of a Chelsea or PSG or a Man City. Now we do. Now the criticism is valid if FSG do not spend and do not go the extra mile to get in these players, which I think they will. So the panic is, I think, a bit early.
Right, there's one thing I want to come to Gav, but I have one very quick question, and I just want a quick answer from all of you. Would you rather we went in and we paid the money and we need 7 players, just say as an example. Would you rather we went in and got 4 of Klopp's first choice players and had to, Grizz said we have a budget, let's just say we've 200 million. Would you rather we spent that 200 million on 4 of Klopp's first choice players, or a mixture of a couple of first choice and a few further down the list to get the full 7 in? So Ben,
I'd go big. Oh, sorry, mate. Go ahead.
No, go. It doesn't matter who started. I was just Ian.
Yeah,
you
you
go
go.
ahead.
I was going to say I would spend 200 million on 4. The first 4 names on his list. If they cost 200 million, I'd spend 200 million on the first 4 names.
Ben,
I'm exactly the same.
you're the same.
Yeah,
Gav?
exactly. I'd rather Klopp gets who he wants and builds the team that he wants. That's it. That's all I want our owners to do. Give him what he wants and let him do his thing.
Grizz?
Same as mate. As long as Klopp gets his first choices, I'd rather Klopp gets his choices, and that's it, mate. I'm not bothered about the rest.
Right. Sorry.
I think it's accumulated. It's accumulated and got to an all-time low of this about the players we've missed, mainly because we haven't won things. We look like we need fast wingers, and then we miss out on one, or we were supposedly linked with one according to papers, and then when we don't get that person and we don't win stuff because we look like we needed a bit of speed, then everyone goes, well, see, we needed him and we didn't buy him, and that's why we didn't win things. And it's accumulated over the last few years, I think, and now it's sort of like just pessimism all over Twitter, and as soon as we get linked with someone, it's just the same old thing, innit?
Gav, is it fair to say that it's fear and we're all just scared?
It is a bit of fear because of some of the shite that we've signed over the last 10 to 15 years. And when you see big names coming up, you're hoping against hope that it's done. But you have to remember, we are the easiest fucking target for all this clickbait. Absolute, someone waking up in the morning, writing a couple of names down, writing Liverpool beside it and banging it in a paper. We are the easiest targets because we take the bait every single time. Now, we've mentioned about we may have messed up here and messed up there. How do we know what these players have demanded of us?
We don't.
How do we know? Well, this is what I'm saying, and it's never reported. How do we know the players aren't walking into Anfield saying, well, I want this amount a week, I want fucking 2 days off during the week, I want to play every game, and if that fella gets more money, I want to be 50 grand above him, right? Let's go back then. If we want to go back, and we're talking Conor Plianka, etc., etc. If you remember, Ronaldinho was nailed on to sign for United.
He wanted a fucking helicopter and all, didn't he?
Yes, and United fans lost their shit when he didn't sign. He went to PSG, wasn't it? He ended up going, and they lost it. And it turned out a couple of weeks later that Ronaldinho had requested a fucking helicopter from Manchester to London after every game at the weekend and back when he was finished on the gargle for a couple of days. Now, look, if you want to take, let's take the whole circle here. Let's put all the details into the mix.
That's fucking brilliant, though, Gav. Come on, that is fucking brilliant.
Ronaldinho is an absolute headbanger. You know what I mean? But he's brilliant at the same time. But what I'm saying is, people need to stop taking snippets of information and deciding that's their whole transfer policy because it is snippets of information. Take everything. Spurs, if you look at like messing up transfers, Spurs tried to sign that lad Berahino about 5 times. And they were going in with ridiculous offers to West Brom, 8 million, 7 million. Now, he's not even worth fucking 7 or 8 million. But at the time, he was, this young, promising, brilliant striker, 18, 20, 25 million. And Spurs could see he wasn't, but he'd do a job for them. And Spurs were lashed over that.
The thing is, though, Daniel Levy does have a great reputation as being a tough deal maker on both sides of the fence, to be honest.
Yeah, but in fairness, he had to take his own medicine on the Berahino one. But all I'm asking people is, stop believing everything you read, and as well as that, try open your mind to what actually is involved in this deal. It's not only there's a load of money, give us the player, thanks. It's what does the player want? Does the player want to move to Liverpool? Does he want to live outside of Liverpool? If he's not willing to move to Liverpool, he wants to live 40 miles away. Does that suit the club? You never know what's going on. So people need to get as many bits of information as they possibly can before making a knee-jerk reaction. That's all. That's what I think, anyway.
Right.
I mean, I think you could probably write a list off the top of your head without batting an eyelid of 15 players that Arsenal have tried to sign in the last 18 months that have just gone somewhere else. They've got to be worse at it than we are. Do you know what I mean? They're like...
We're all as bad as each other, Ian.
Yeah,
like,
of course. Yeah,
we all are as bad as each other. And I'll tell you something. Sorry to cut across you, but if this Mbappe link, right, the chances of him is minimal signing for Liverpool. But if we didn't enter or supposedly make our interest known, the club would be lashed for that as well. Why aren't we competing with this? Why aren't we competing with this? So we supposedly show an interest, and they're making that up because it's a smoke screen to make it look like we're ambitious. We don't register an interest, and it's why aren't we registering an interest? We're a big club, so you can't win. You can't win.
Ian, do you want to go ahead?
I was just going to say a good example of how figures and stuff are just plucked out the air by fan sites and papers, journalists, whatever. I don't know who's robbing the information off who. It used to be people who rob off the journalists. Now they just take as much stuff off Twitter as the other way around. You know what I mean? But they're talking about Liverpool having to pay up to 70 million for Van Dijk, euros or whatever. So then we drop out of the deal, supposedly. And then all of a sudden, this unknown kid that plays central midfield for Serbia is now worth 70 million euros. Do you know what I mean? The exact amount that we needed for Van Dijk. 70 million for a 22-year-old who I've genuinely never seen play. That's just how transfer rumours work. They just put 2 and 2 together and get 6. I don't worry about it. Like, if it gets to July the 20th and we haven't signed anyone of note, then
fair enough. Then fair enough.
Yeah, start worrying then. But
the player you're talking about, Ian, is the Serbian lad Sergej
from Lazio,
Milinovic Savic or Milinkovic Savic.
Yeah. We call him Savic.
Apparently we've offered 24.6 million, but you're right, Lazio have all of a sudden said he's in the 50 to 70 million quid bracket.
Yeah, exactly. Bollocks.
Right, lads.
And people are believing it.
We'll move on to something that is possibly moving along and does possibly have some legs, and that's Mohamed Salah Mark II, second time around. Where are we on this one? Does anyone want to come in?
I think it'll come off. But it got leaked. It got leaked again, like what Ian was saying. Just the one where everyone's got to break the news. I think it just got leaked so early that now it's like a dragged out transfer. Whereas in reality, that first part where it got leaked was probably just when we was just starting negotiations, and now it seems like a dragged out thing, but it's probably not. Of course, it's rumoured we wanted to pay less, and we don't know if it's that true, but it sounds that way. So, but perhaps they're trying to stick in the budget. Perhaps they're leaving a lot of money one side because there might be legs in the Mbappe or Virgil van Dijk thing. Who knows? But I think they're trying to strike a deal. I think Klopp really wants him, and he's obviously a number one target for Klopp to play on the other wing. So,
Gav?
I think it'll come off.
I hope to God it comes off. I've watched a little bit of him, and he's paced the bone. Jesus, he has paced the bone. And his assist and goals record is really good. He seems like a sort of player that could really fit into our system. You know, he's up and down. He's skill about him. He's quick. He has an eye for goal. He sets up people. He's the perfect sort of player that I've been hoping that we sign, and was the kind of probably the number one target that I would make for the summer. My number one target was a left-sided version of Mane, because
absolutely,
when you watch Mane, Coutinho, Firmino, and some of the time they tore teams apart. And then you're thinking, we drop Coutinho in to feed Salah, Mane, Firmino, or whoever ends up front. It could be absolutely frightening watching them play. Another couple of names being bandied around was the likes of Douglas Costa, Julian Brandt, all this, but Salah is just, he seems the right fit for me. The attributes he has, just, he's so direct, so quick, and while I think the Virgil van Dijk thing happens, or still can happen, I'm actually hoping this one happens more.
I think where I stand on this one is he's away with Egypt at the minute. I think he's finished today. I think his game is tonight, then he's finished.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple of pictures emerge of him standing beside a couple of lads with the shirts, and as you've said, this one seems to really have some genuine legs.
I can. It's not ITK, but basically, I just sent a few DMs to a few Egyptian guys that you just try your luck.
So it's not ITK, but it's absolutely ITK.
No, it's not. It's not at all. I'll tell you why.
That's stalking, Grizz. That's what that's called. That's stalking.
No. Come here, Gav. Let me explain. All right. let me explain. Okay. So basically, these chaps, right? Apparently, his best mates, right, on Twitter, where he's held up a jersey, right. So me being bored one day, right. This is a true story, and I've got the DMs to prove it, right. So I didn't do it directly. I've got my mate to DM this guy, right, who's sat with him. Oh, sorry, he's got pictures of him with the top. Now, these are very vague. Anybody can put a top next to a player and say, yes, he's coming. But this chap's a very close mate of his. And if you actually look through his media, he's got loads of pictures with him left, right, and centre. But forget all that. Forget that. I'm not going to go down that lane. All I'm saying is this one is, in my opinion, just opinion, I think it's very close. I think we'll end up. But I like this Liverpool, guys. I'm not sticking up for FSG here in particular. But I like this ruthless Liverpool. I think we're comfortable with this deal. We've let our interest be known to Roma. We've agreed with Salah, right? In my opinion, there's no doubts about it. And from what I know of the deal, there's no doubt about it. We've agreed the personal terms and everything. So we've done exactly the same what we've done with Virgil van Dijk, right? I like this new Liverpool. I like this new under Klopp. I should say, right? Klopp wants these deals done quickly. He knows exactly the type of player he wants. Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, right, and Keita's apparently the marquee signing that he wants. He wants this Salah deal done. We've agreed everything. Roma are the ones that are being titty about it because they need 40 million by the end of the month, right? For the end of the financial year for them, right, which is the end of the month.
I think they've FFP issues, don't they?
They're banking on selling either him, Nangalan, who's the midfielder, the one that another baldy, right, and who's the other chap? It's gone now. It's gone.
Centre half, is it?
Or is it not the centre back?
Manolas, the Greek fella.
Manolas, yeah. They try to bank on selling one of their stars, right? Which is not happening. We're the only ones with a concrete bid for Salah that they know that's money guaranteed. They're trying to squeeze a bit more out of us. And I like us because since then we've put out feelers for Douglas Costa and this other chap to let these teams know, well, fuck yous. If you're not going to give us him, we've got other players and deals ready to be agreed. I like this new aggressive Liverpool. It's backfired in the past, but I think we've got much stronger foundation now, and we've got stronger network of scouting, in my opinion. And the main thing we've got now is Jurgen Klopp, the pull of Jurgen Klopp, because it makes a massive difference when the manager speaks to you directly. Like all these players that we hear of, when they always talk about in the press conference, they say, "Oh, we loved it when Mourinho called us," or in the past we've heard, "Oh, when Mr. Ferguson rang us, we had no choice." It makes a massive difference when the man himself gets involved. He knows what he wants. Salah's, I think, by the end of the week, we'll have Salah in the bag. And I'm really excited about fucking Salah. I tell you, he is fucking rapid and just what we need. I think he'll make same levels of impact as Mane. And that'll be fucking exciting next season.
Ian, I seen I don't know if it was a tweet or a quote from Salah's agent during the week.
It's probably a tweet.
I think it is a tweet. It's a new thing. I'm launching a new website. It's all about tweets.
Quid.
I think he said that good things come to those that don't wait too long. So what's your reading of that, Ian?
He's doing his job, isn't he?
He's doing his job.
He's due a big payday. The longer we drag on, the longer he's got to wait for a bit of money. He's just trying to get us to make put the bid in or do whatever. But the good thing about this Salah deal is there doesn't seem to be any other sides linked with him at the minute. So you can play a slightly longer game. I mean, it's risky. Other teams can get involved, but with Van Dijk, there's City, there's Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? There's all these. With Salah, I haven't heard anyone else. So Liverpool can, and like you're just saying there, they've got to have a certain amount of money by the end of this month. So Liverpool can say, "This is what we'll pay you," and then just wait for what they've got to say. I wouldn't give a monkeys about what any agent says about any deal ever. They've used Liverpool as like a yardstick to get better deals for players for like 20 years. Your agents, do you know what I mean? It's just they're all wankers. But he's saying, pay up now or you mightn't get him. Who else is going for him? I haven't heard anyone else going for him.
No, there's no one. It's just straight. It's just poker. It's straight poker.
Yeah, I think we'll get him. I mean, I've got no Egyptian mates or anything like that giving me the down low or nothing, but I'm confident we'll get him.
I made them, yeah. I'm friendly. I'm like Matt. I'm just a nice guy all around. I make Egyptian mates. Racialist.
There's one story.
Whether they like it or not.
There's one story that I seen during the week, lads, and it's not Liverpool related, but Jesus Christ, it made me laugh. And if it comes true, it's one of the most bizarre transfers I've ever seen, and that would be Mario Balotelli to Borussia Dortmund. Does anybody think that there's any legs to that at all?
I'm sorry. Let me go first. Let me go first, then, because I'll be brief. I couldn't give two fucks. Carry on. Honestly, I couldn't give two fucks about Balotelli.
I heard it.
I didn't hear anything about this.
Yeah, he's not their type of player. He's not their type of player at all. But if they sign him for whatever, then good, because we've got a sell-on clause in his contract, haven't we? So
we have.
Oh yeah.
From a purely selfish perspective, yeah, I hope he goes there. He'll be shit. He'll be shit wherever he goes because he's a lazy bastard. But apart from that, I'm with Grizz, really. He's just I've always said about Balotelli, he'll have one amazing season when he's like 32 and the penny's finally dropped. That his career's coming to an end and he better try. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Up until then, he'll go wherever, fuck about wherever. It's just a waste of talent, isn't he?
We've a couple more things. We've a couple more things to talk about regards to transfers in, but I suppose transfers doesn't only cover transfers in. I suppose we should really address any players that might be leaving the club as well. And has anybody heard of anything or read anything in the last week indicating any players leaving the club?
Yeah, just loans.
I haven't heard of one link.
I have. Just a few loans.
Derby was linked today, weren't they, with
Andre Wisdom?
Andre Wisdom, yeah.
Yeah, Derby.
Can't we sell him?
Derby bid 1 million for Andre Wisdom, right? And I want to start a fund together where we can sort of chip in and get him fucking rid of him, forget getting money in, because that's what I think of him. He's fucking awful. But apart from that,
he is. But you have to remember, Liverpool have put a valuation of 2 million on him.
Well, and we're good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but but that's what I'm saying. You just said a minute ago you like this new Liverpool. I actually like it more about the way they get rid of players at the moment.
I was just going to say,
it's great when we're selling the players. Don't
get
me wrong.
No. What I mean is, we used to give players away.
Nah, not anymore.
Not anymore. That's what I'm saying. If you watch United, even United when they were selling like team players that were barely breaking into the first team, and they were getting 3 and 4 million from Sunderland, or even the likes of Michael Keane. Is that his name?
Yeah,
that Burnley defender.
Yeah, him. They were getting a few quid for him, and they had the clauses in and everything, and we were giving away players. And now 2 million is the deal. Pay the 2 million, or go away, and we get someone else to do it. And
that's a bargain. In today's market, that's I don't care whether you rate them or not. £1 million they're bidding. £1 million. Nah, not in today's market.
No, but FSG have got we've slammed them, and others have slammed them more about their buying technique. I think their selling technique is spot on. Have we forgotten the amount of money we've got this, from the likes of Jordan Ibe and that left back? Has anyone forgot that Brad Smith? How much we got about 7 mil for him, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's fucking
Benteke as well. We actually just broke even or just about made a profit on the sale price of Benteke as well.
Yeah, it was 21 million combined for the two lads to Bournemouth, wasn't it?
what I've heard is loans. Apparently, Danny Ings loaned to Huddersfield for a season.
I see that, yeah.
Which makes sense. To be honest with you. Can we really see Danny Ings, especially if we're looking at all these wide forwards coming in and whatnot? Can we really see Danny Ings getting much game time?
Well, someone made a good point to me. I don't think I've ever heard the rule, but you're only allowed to loan one player to one club in the Prem.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So if that's the case, where's Danny Ward go? Danny Ward's got to go to Huddersfield before Danny Ings.
I don't think Danny Ings leaves. I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't sell him.
I think he's quite admired. Klopp's slightly admired by him and slightly taken back by his attitude at Melwood. And as many people are very quick. If his name was Ingsino, everyone would be chucking him in that lineup.
Yeah, but Ben, I can't really
his work rate.
I can't really see him getting much game time, to be honest.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's going to be the star man starting every game, but 60, 70 minutes, you need someone to change the game. His energy fits.
Energetic,
He fits the bill. I think Klopp's took a shine to him. I do think we might see a bit of him. I hope.
Good old Rafa's made apparently a bid for Daniel Sturridge. I've said it before. Do you remember, Craig? I said in an earlier pod, I can see Rafa Benitez making a little move for Daniel Sturridge. I mean, I know everyone's connecting Sturridge with a London move and whatnot, but I can see. Did Rafa liked Sturridge, right? Was Rafa there when Sturridge was there? No. Alternative facts, fake news. Move on.
Another player who's been linked away as well is Lucas Leiva, and there was some talk during the week of him going back to Gremio.
Did you see? They came in and wanted him. I think they wanted him in January, but he said he wanted to see the season out.
Yeah, I think he had an agreement with Klopp, didn't he? I wouldn't even be surprised if we don't get any money for him. Like a gentleman's agreement, he just let him go.
I think they let him go on a free to Gremio and so he goes back to Brazil. Yeah. Because if you watch a lot of the coverage around his 10 years at the club or the kind of mini documentary he brought out and stuff, he makes a point 4 or 5 times about how his wife gave up her own career for his and stuff like that. And I think that might be part of the deal now that, look, my career's coming to an end and we go home. You know that way.
Craig, it's good Craig brought up departures, because I've said it again, I don't think there's going to be many departures as much as people think, because you got to remember we've got a thin squad as it is. So I can see guys like Ward and Ingsy going out on loan, like the guys that weren't involved last season.
What do we do with Markovic, Grizz?
Oh, he's gone. Forget Markovic, man. Don't even,
He's gone.
Markovic,
it's easy saying he's gone, but who the fuck's buying him?
Someone will buy him.
Nobody's buying him. He's going on loan again somewhere.
Klopp hates this loan thing as well. He's come out and said it as well. He's going to try to flog him somewhere. Where's Marco Silva gone?
He's gone to Premier League.
Watford, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's it.
There you go.
Yeah, they've got a bit of money.
Watford. There you go. Put your money on Markovic to Watford now.
I think there'll be a few going. Moreno will go. Lucas
will a few, Ian, but I can't see this massive coal that we had last season. I can see about 4, 5 going.
I can see it.
But you got to remember.
I can see
more than that. Up to 10.
Obviously. Out of the first team squad, I think you'll see a little few. But the long, I know Grizz is talking about the first team squad. I think what you're going to see people going is the likes of players that were out on loan last season.
Yeah.
You've mentioned Markovic, John Flanagan, Chiravella.
Yeah. All these can go.
Like that. Ryan Kent. There's been a bit of. I can't get my head around that chap. Wilson.
Yeah. The Welsh guy, Harry Wilson. Yeah.
I just can't get my head around where his career is. How hard I tried.
Didn't we release him and then he came back again or something? There was something. He was out of contract.
No, that was Brad Smith. That was
Brad Smith. Yeah, no, but like I think you'll see a lot of those loanees that have gone out and they've probably done okay. And I think Ryan Kent might have been Player of the Year for Barnsley. He was with Barnsley, I think.
Yeah, he was. He's been brilliant.
I think you'll see the likes of them. That'll be a few quid made on them. But with regards to the first team, to be perfectly honest with you, I can only see Moreno, Lucas,
yeah, me too,
and maybe Sturridge.
Me too.
Sacco.
Do we
No,
say
it's
Kevin
yeah, but
Stewart?
Saka,
But Saka wasn't there, Ian.
But he is
Last
first
season.
team.
yeah,
But he
fair
is first team quality, if that's what
No,
we're going by.
No, but it's simple, man. Let's do the maths. How many are we expecting to come in, boys? First team.
I reckon 7.
You reckon 7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I reckon
reckon
7 as well.
Craig?
7, yeah, I'd go with 7. But not all first teamers. 7.
So we're talking
Yeah,
4
yeah.
first teamers,
About
3
4
squad
first
players.
That sounds
I
about
reckon.
right.
Gav?
I would say, I'd say 6 or 7. I think 5 will be top targets, and I think 2 will be to bolster the squad.
Ian?
About, I think, four big players, maybe 2 squad
Right,
players.
so that's the average, right? We're looking
Yeah.
at 6 players coming in, right? How many are we, if we're expecting, as some of you are saying, we're expecting 6, 7 to go as well, it leaves the squad as thin as it was, guys.
But we're not talking first teamers, Grizz. We're just, what I'm trying to get across is to recoup money to get in for sale. So let's just look at the players
Right.
we've mentioned. How much we sold? We're selling Markovic to Watford. What are we expecting financially to get back?
10?
15.
10?
70 million.
15 quid.
15 mil.
No,
No.
I'm going to be Jonathan Higgins. I'm going to say 10 mil.
I'd say 10
Yeah, 10 mil.
a push.
Right, so let's get the
He done well
calculator
for
out.
Hull at the end, like.
We'll go 12 to be realistic, because if it's an English club to an English club as well. Right,
But
so
he's not English.
Listen, what's our marquee?
No,
what's
but
our
English
marquee
club to
sales?
an English club.
Yeah, but
What's
you're better off going probably about 8 million.
What's our marquee departure this year? Sacco,
That's-
right?
Yeah, okay. Let's go through them one by one though. So Sacco, Grizz, what you're thinking there?
25. We'll get 25 for him.
Anybody
think
I
else?
in
think
this market-
25.
in this-
I agree, yeah.
I think in this market, 30 plus.
Posh bastard.
I think,
25.
I think it depends if he
25
goes
at a push.
stays in England or goes abroad. I think if he goes abroad, we take less because
Yeah.
I read
they
the other
don't
day
have the
that
money.
Spurs won him.
See, that could be good.
So are we happy to go with 25?
What you'll probably find is Milan will come in and do their usual, where they go, let us take him for a year and we'll buy him at the end of the year if he.
I'd go mental if that happens. I'd go
and then
absolutely.
we change our mind
No.
at the end of the year.
We'll want to cut our losses. We'll want a clean break from Sacco. But like, we're adding up money there and stuff like that. I don't think money matters. I really don't think it matters. I think it's more about the makeup of the squad come the start of next season. And like Grizz said, you don't want too many first teamers going out, because that squad. You see, you have to remember, if Klopp trusts Moreno plays 15 to 20 games last season. He just did not trust him. Do you know what I mean? And that's why the squad looked light, because some players there were on the bench and were just in no way trusted.
He just doesn't trust him now. Yeah.
If he did bring in 7 and moved out 7 from the first team, but trusted them 7 coming in, the squad would have the same amount of numbers, but would actually be deeper.
I think Gomez.
It would be deeper.
I think Gomez goes as well.
Well, Gav, what you're forgetting here is that I've already got the calculator out.
Oh yeah, go on. Carry on.
I've got 2 things added up here, buddy. So, game on.
Yeah, but Gav thought we had
Sorry
to
about
add up
that,
himself,
Craig.
so that's why he
Yeah.
tried to. Gav, maths is not the best strongest subject. So Gav thought
So,
he's going to fucking have to add up himself.
to be honest, I know Gav and he fucking wouldn't need a calculator. It'd be all in the head.
We'll get to the end, and Tino will win.
Yeah, that's
And that's the transfer kitty.
If anybody, by the way, didn't listen to the first quiz show that we put out, our new quiz, ITK in the know,
It's a must listen.
absolutely worth the listen, guys, because it's, apart from being a fantastic quiz, and Gav's the quiz master, put out some great questions. There's a few
The
meltdowns
best.
in there, and it's absolutely worth a listen. Really good
Hey,
stuff.
Gav, have you noticed I'm licking your ass? The best.
Yeah,
the best.
that'll stop in about 20 minutes when we hit the stop.
Right, lads, let's move on real
Go back
quick.
to normal.
So, we're all saying Moreno's gone. Let's
Yeah.
cut
How
to the
much?
chase here. 12 million. Does anybody disagree with that?
10.
I would have said 10. Yeah.
15.
Right, I've gone over on a lot, so I'll go with 10 on that one. Right, so next up, Lucas we're saying is going for nothing. We're all happy with
Nah,
that.
freebie. Yeah, freebie.
Yeah.
I think it's a free. Yeah.
Stewart, Kev Stewart.
Young
5.
Kev
Oh, yeah, good
Stewart.
shout.
Young
Yep,
Kev
yep.
Stewart.
7 mil.
Fuck off, 7 mil.
Mate, they want
Yeah.
10. They've
Yeah,
said
I
10.
would have said.
Yeah.
I immediately thought 8, but I'll go with
All
10.
right, all right,
So
7's
we'll go
fine
with
then.
7, right? So next up is the kind of iffy one, Grizz. You mentioned them earlier on with the link to Newcastle. What about Danny Sturridge if he goes?
Sturridge is a tough one. I think we're all going to be Yeah, I think we're all going to be split on this one. I still think he goes. And I think we fetch 20 mil for him.
To Rafa.
I can see that.
Is that a special deal?
No way in the world is he a Rafa striker. No way.
Fair enough.
Just 2 foot. He's never fucking fit.
Let's not get hung up on where he's going, lads. Let's just try and keep to the field.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he stays.
I'm in your boat, Gav. I see him staying as well.
Yeah, I knew we were going to split.
There's something in my head that said he stays, and I'll tell you why. Because he really likes Firmino, yeah, but he also really likes his front three. Look, he's not going to bring Salah in and not play him. It's simple as that. Mane's going to play. Salah's going to play. He's going to play Firmino up front, and I think a Sturridge that he's not dependent on, that he can get onto the bench and get so many minutes out of, and even play him in the last half an hour of games, or even start him in games in the front two. I think Origi's more at risk than Sturridge. That's my honest opinion, and I'm happy about it because I don't rate him, and I never have.
We'll leave Sturridge out for a sale then, because we're all not sure about it, and there's been some good points made. So what were we saying for Wisdom? Was it 1 million we were happy with on him as well?
No, it's 2 million. They're demanding 2 million on him.
Right, so we'll give him the 2 million. So the players we spoke about mentioned there, in excess 55, 56 million for the few players we've mentioned, not including Sturridge. Now, that's a decent amount of money, lads. That's one top quality player right there. That 55, 56 million.
Top quality midfielder from Lazio. Sorted.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'd rather keep the lads we have than waste the money, that amount of money on.
Going back to Sturridge a bit there, personally, I'd sell him, but I think there's very little chatter about us going for a striker, is there? I haven't seen. I know Mbappe, but
well, that's led me on to the next point, Dean. We're after signing Solanke, and I think it's only fair that we say congratulations to him and Che Ojo for winning the Under-20 World Cup. Absolutely fantastic achievement.
Absolutely, yeah.
So where do we stand on Solanke? Now, look, none of us, we're not going to lie, none of us knew the fucking kid that well before the Under-20 World Cup and he signed. We knew of him, but none of us are going to sit here and say that we watched Chelsea's Under-23 games.
Well, me and Ian had a little chat about this on Twitter in the morning, and I told him to keep it quiet, even though I said it on the timeline, right? But I've watched every single game in this World Cup of Solanke, and how much did he cost, guys? 3 million?
I don't think we've actually bought him yet. I think it's going to have to go through tribunal, and the figure of 3 million. 3 million is being bandied about, so compensation for training and stuff, isn't it?
That'll be 7 every time I get there.
Do you know what? If it's under 5 mil, right, I haven't got an issue with it. But from what I've seen, and I know he won Player of the Tournament, which in my opinion, look, once he puts on that Liverpool shirt, as you guys know, I'm going to be his number one supporter because I'm like that. I support the shirt, not the name, right? But he's not our player. No, he is our player, isn't he? Well, near enough.
July 1st, he'll be officially our player, but he is signed.
All right. Well, he's not our player yet. I don't rate him, right? He's got physical attributes, right? He's very strong. He's got better movement than I thought, right? But I can't see him. I've got a bet with, as you know, Craig. I've got a bet with a couple of the other Wolves that he doesn't score, more than 10 goals for us in all competitions next season. All competitions. But listen, 3-4 million. It's low risk. We've got a good potential, young potential England player, right? Who we can probably flog on. He's a typical FSG signing. I hate saying that, but he is. He could come good. He couldn't come. He may not come good. It's no drama.
I think he will come good, if I'm being honest. I don't think he'll come good this season by any stretch of the imagination, but there's too many people talking about how good he has been in the youth system and how he's head and shoulders above everybody else in this England team in the Under-20 World Cup. And his scoring record seems to be very, very, very good. Again, Grizz, I don't know the guy from Adam. I just have a feeling that he could be a really shrewd piece of business, and that's just instinct. It's not going off anything else.
I would love to put my hands up and be proved wrong.
I mean, let's just say, Grizz,
actually smashed it.
Who knew? I know we monitored him and we looked at him, but of us, who knew Mbappe this time last year?
Only Tino.
No, I knew about him about 4 or 5 months ago. That was about it.
Exactly, and look, in one season, of good Champions League quality football, what he's done. Harry Kane had an amazing breakthrough season as well, out of nowhere from Spurs in the Europa League. So
no, fair enough.
It's certainly possible.
Yeah, definitely, fair enough. And I'm, as I said, if he becomes a Liverpool player, as long as we can agree with the tribunal, whatever the fee, and get it over the line. Well, it is over the line. He's joined us. Once he's a Liverpool player, I don't give a shit, what I think of him. I will support him like, no other. But till then, if you want my honest opinion, what I think of him as a player, I don't see much there that makes me think he's going to break into our first 11.
He kind of adds, for me, he kind of looks like this is just my feeling. I'm going with what Gav said. I think that this is more worrying for Origi, this type of signing, than anything else, because I think Klopp might have made his mind up on Origi. As Gav has said, I don't think he quite sees the progression that he'd hoped for at this stage. Ben, what's your take on Solanke and then Origi, I suppose?
I really like him. I think he's had a really good tournament, which is always good. I think he'll get some game time, but I don't think he's that sort of signing. I don't think he's going to come in and set the world alight at Liverpool. I think it'll be a gradual thing. But if he gets his chance and takes it, you don't know under Klopp, because he's willing to give him chances, like he has done with Jaria and Ojo and others. So yeah, if he gets the chance and does great, then age is only a number in it. But I do think he'll add something quite good. I'm actually quite excited about it. He's sort of one of them weird times that you knew nothing about the guy, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay. And then we're all watching this tournament thinking, wow, this is our player. But going to the Origi thing, I think you might be right. I think he had a lot of chances this season and didn't really step up next level, did he? He had a good few games where he scored a few games, but then he sort of really went off the boil. And if you look, Sturridge late on in the season, although he's had lots of injuries, still possesses that magic, doesn't he? Just to he can weave his bit of magic in the box and unlock a tight defence, which has been our Achilles heel, and he still proved that he could do that. So, especially in that West Ham game. No, was it West Ham? I'm trying to think what game it was now.
He did play really well in the West Ham game. I don't think he scored on that game, did he?
No, but I think it was that last bit. Or was it the West Ham? When he broke through and scored the first goal. Was that West Ham?
Yeah, West Ham away, yeah.
Did he score?
Yeah,
my memory.
He scored the opening goal. He was put through with Coutinho.
And then late in, it was a packed box, and he did a little clever move, and he dragged it one way, then the other way, and then it bounced about, yeah. So, yeah, he still possesses that. So off the bench, you think, out of the two strikers that we've got, Sturridge offers that thing at 0-0 to go and unlock the defence and win the game, whereas Origi probably doesn't, so...
And Gav, I think one thing that has never been labelled at Sturridge, nobody has ever questioned his ability. So, on the striker situation, you've given your point on Origi, and I think a lot of us have agreed. But what do you see with Solanke?
I don't know. I don't know anything of the player. I did read a couple of quotes from like former coach of his. I can't even remember who. I just remember reading the former coach of Solanke and raved about him. So that's a good sign. 3 million is no risk whatsoever. It's hard to try piece Liverpool's attack together. Not the Mane, supposedly Salah, Firmino thing. It's the way you build around that with the other options. Do you keep Sturridge and do you bring in another striker, an out-and-out striker to, share the duties with Firmino, but can also play with Sturridge if you want to play it too? You probably, I don't know what you do with Woodburn. I really like Woodburn, but I don't know if it's just a bit too early for him still. It's really, really hard to pick out what way you kind of piece this attack together, with all the different options and the different styles of play. But look, he's no risk at 3 million, and if you never know, if he gets on the bench and gets on and scores a goal, you never know what can happen. Like we've seen strikers in the past that you might not rate or you might not know too much of, and they end up scoring vital goals for at the start, middle, or end of the season. My feelings on Origi, so I'm not going to go into it again. But it's going to be it's really interesting this summer as to what way he's going to build that attack. It's really interesting to me.
Lads, we're running really out of time here. We've gone a bit over, but I've had a couple of questions from the listeners that I want to just put to you instead of our usual final question for this week. So the first one I have to start with Grizz, because the minute I seen this question I just thought of Grizz. So there's an hour to go in the transfer window, Grizz. We haven't got a centre back yet, and our only available options are Ben Gibson,
Harry Maguire,
Keane, and Harry Maguire. Who do we go with? Harry Maguire?
It's not even close, is it? I don't know why you come to me for, because like, do you know my answer? You should have read my answer.
Hilarious, because you know my opinion on it.
Why
as
is
well.
there options? Why is there options? If there's an hour to go, right? Have we got VVD in the bag by then?
No.
Oh,
this is our marquee signing.
This is it. This is our centre back.
Yeah, still Harry Maguire.
I think Harry Maguire is a lanky.
I know you do. You're gonna eat your. I'm gonna tell you. Oh, you can say what you want about him. I'm telling you, he's gonna have another good. Who's he playing for at the moment? Hull, isn't he? He's gone down. Yeah. All right. Watch him. Watch a Premiership team buy him, I reckon, and watch him flourish again. Hour to go. Gibson, Maguire, and who's the other option?
Michael Keane.
Nah, Harry Maguire, mate.
Ian?
Next.
I'd be devastated if they were our three options.
That was pretty much the answer from everybody, but we've gone to head situation here.
We've got to choose one.
Keane.
Gav?
Maguire.
Fuck off. Go on, Gav.
Gav, I've lost all respect for you now.
Go on,
I'll tell you why. That Gibson fella is no good, so you can forget him. And
I agree on that one.
Michael Keane, I think
I'd rather fucking keep Lucas than have Maguire.
No, I'll tell you what it is. If you look at the style of play Liverpool play, we don't sit back on inside our own box and try to defend, and that's what Michael Keane excelled at Burnley. I just think Maguire is probably a bit better of a footballer. Now, having said that they're not the best three options, but if I was to pick one, it probably would be Maguire.
Ben?
Harry Maguire.
Go on, Bronson. He's
a bit of a bully, isn't he? He's a bit of a bastard. He's a bit of a big old
pudding.
guy.
That's what he is. He's
a big pudding. He's a big
He's
pudding.
not a pudding. What's
everyone.
a pudding? He's not a pudding. He's a beast. I've seen the fucking size of him. He ain't no pudding.
He is. He's a big pudding. He's a big overweight pudding, is what he is.
He's not over. Oh man. Yeah, I'm telling you, he's
not a pudding.
He is. What nationality is he?
He's a dumpling.
Puddinese.
No, is he Irish?
Fuck off.
Is
he English?
If he was Irish, he'd have 65 caps by now, so he's got to be English, hasn't
he? Yeah.
Is he English?
He's got to be.
With the size of his head, it'd be like having a back five.
Can you imagine him trying to turn to get in after a centre forward?
Oh, he's a fucking mountain, mate. Dream. He's a man, and he's a good. And you know what Gavin said? He's a very underrated footballer as well. He's very. Listen, Marco Silva is a top coach, man, and he said he's one of the most talented young centre backs he's seen. I'm telling you, man. People forget this. Forget where he's from. Stop being racialist, all of you.
Oh, he does wear me though, because I think if he sneezes, Matip's out for a month. Let's be honest.
He's 3 Matips. I'm telling you.
He fucking is 3 Matips, all right. You got that one spot on. Big fucking pudding head in them.
Beefy.
Right, lads. The last question, and this is a really simple question, but I think it's a fair shout. You go to the cinema. Which armrest is yours?
It all depends what
you caught me off guard.
The one where your popcorn is?
No, I think the question is, do you use the one on the left or the right? It all depends what side of the aisle you're on. Like if you're sitting in the cinema facing the screen, yeah.
That helps.
And you're on the right-hand side of the aisle.
If not, you've been
explain it to you rather than walking up the stairs.
What type of fucking KVI fucking Tesco cinemas have we got to?
You're facing the fucking screen.
I know why. Harry Maguire was in. He couldn't see.
If you're sitting facing the screen and the aisle is on your left, okay, and you're in the row of seats, you'll use the left armrest.
Right.
You just do. If you're on the right,
I think I haven't got any scientific stats behind this. All right, but I think it's whatever hand you are. So if you're right-handed, right, you use the right armrest. If you're left-handed, you use the left.
So what happens if I'm sitting there and I'm left-handed and you're beside me to my left and you're right-handed?
Grizz, haven't you got any mates at Odeon who can give you the inside scoop?
I'm gonna DM him tonight.
You know what, Ian? When Grizz goes to Odeon, he gets a large popcorn for the price of a medium.
Yeah, I can tell. Listen, if I go to pictures and I spend 60 quid on me, whoever else I'm with and whatever, both fucking armrests are mine. I don't care. Until you pay for your own ticket, I'm having both armrests.
No, I think it's whatever hand you are. Yeah.
It's not. It's whatever. It's not. It's whatever side the oil is to you. If the center oil is to your left, you're using your left.
I'd just lean wherever my missus is. I'd lean towards her more.
Well, to be fair, if you're there with your missus, they both should be yours. To be honest, both armrests should be yours.
Are we talking hands-free?
One for your drink, or one for your popcorn.
Too much detail.
Another thing, well, we're talking about the cinema here, just to carry on from this. Please tell me that when you guys go to the cinema, you're smuggling stuff in.
Oh yeah, all day.
Yeah.
Smuggling.
I'm from Liverpool, mate. Most of the time we smuggle stuff
So you
out.
go to the shop or you go to Tesco or the supermarket before you go in, and your missus' handbag is piled full of stuff when you're going in.
Hot dog and nuts at the bottom of the popcorn box.
My missus doesn't even hide it. My missus went the other day.
Well, Gav, you have to sit fucking sideways in the cinema, like, to be fair. So
the least they can let you do is
bring in your own crisps.
I sit with a mirror. I face away from the screen with a mirror and watch it like that. But no, my missus went to the cinema the other day with my daughter and like brazen just took a lot of stuff out of the press and went with it. No putting it in handbags, just walked straight in.
Is that because it's too expensive in the cinema, the stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
especially when you bring kids and these spot the pick and mix, like it's. You know,
they should ban fucking anything crinkly and all.
I don't know. But
is that shrinkflation?
Shrinkflation? No,
yes.
That's just plain out fucking daylight robbery, Grizz.
Yeah, I was thinking of that word today. Shrinkflation.
Shrinkflation.
Sorry, shrinkflation. Yeah.
I wasn't putting my trousers back on.
Has anybody actually seen lads in the cinema go full on in there, like battered sausage and chips or fucking chicken fried rice tray?
Into the cinema?
Into the fucking cinema.
I took a Burger King in once.
Did you?
Yeah. And it weighed a little one. It was like one of those giant...
A Whopper.
Whopper with cheese with bacon on it.
Yeah, but you can't take...
That's what Harry
Maguire
Maguire should be called. A Whopper.
I can even tell you what film it was. Everyone around me was screaming and I was just eating it in bliss. 28 days later, that's what I was watching.
Oh man, you are brave.
Now they got in sorry guys, but in London there's a lot of like security around in cinemas, so they get a whiff of that stuff and they kick you out. It's quite embarrassing.
Really?
I've been kicked out a couple of times.
I can just imagine Grace sitting there fucking biryani, fucking.
You know me, guys. I cannot go in there. I cannot go in there without biryani. Come on.
Chin and security men to get his custard creams back.
Tandoori naans.
Knocking over routers everywhere.
Oh god.
Lads, we've gone a long time this week. Is there anyone wants to bring out up before we finish, or are we good to go?
Back what you said about old matey asking for a helicopter in the deal. If you had one thing to ask for in a deal, what would you ask for?
More fucking money.
More fucking money.
Well, yeah, it's true. The fuck? Would you want to fucking...
I thought I was going to get a sight in here, but there we go.
Well, we'll go a different way, Ben. So, you're doing a gig, you're a rock star, you're a performer. What's on your rider?
What's on your what?
Rider.
What? You what?
Do you lads know fucking anything?
Rider?
Yeah.
Is this like rashers?
No. A rider is a list. A rider is a list that the artist gives into the venue to say what they want in their dressing room, basically.
Right.
Why is it called a rider?
No idea.
Is this an Irish thing?
No.
Absolutely
because
Google it. It's a well-known phrase. I suppose I don't know if it goes outside the music. I suppose it does go outside the entertainment industry. So you show up, like you must have heard over the years the mad things like people only wanting fucking brown M&Ms and fucking stupid things like that.
I would want 50 bulldog puppies.
Have you guys ever heard of the Anfield Rap show, The Rider, by the way?
Who?
Yeah.
The Anfield Rap show, The Rider. It's the name one of the shows, the music show.
Not The Writer. The
R-I-D-E-R.
If I was a performer, I'd want at least 5-6 masseurs.
Yeah, it's a good show.
What kind?
Yeah.
Egyptian
Are we
guys.
talking happy endings here, Grizz, or
Well,
relieve the
No.
stress?
no.
I would want the name of Ben's Taylor.
I can't answer that, guys. You know that for a
It's
reason.
Rabsy Nesbitt.
Who's Taylor?
Ben's.
Ice cold cans and a big pyramid of Ferrero Rocher.
Ice cold hands.
Cans.
I'd want a string vest.
Oh.
I can just imagine somebody sitting in there now, a big bucket of ice.
Do you know what I mean? Gav's asked for this.
I'd probably just want a string vest, a box set of Raspberry Nesbit, 8 warm Stellas,
I've seen Nesbit.
and
Did you say Raspberry Nesbit?
He
No,
said
just
8
come out
warm
with a bit of
Stellas,
swang.
the best box set
No,
of Rabsy
it's a
Nesbitt.
It's a Scottish dessert, Raspberry Nesbit.
For the listeners who can't see Ben right now,
Woe Grace.
he's a cross between Rabsy Nesbit and Bronson at the moment in front of our eyes.
And if you,
Fucking hell.
He's gone
you just
full-
got to imagine
he's
like a hobbit that's trying to
full
do
on
Raspberry
white-
Nesbit.
gone full-on wife beater in the wife beater vest, the Liverpool pyjama bottoms. It's priceless. If you guys could see what we see now, you'd be loving Ben.
And he's got dim lights for extra effects. Fucking hell.
For sexiness.
I'm a cheap date.
That-
If my riders just insist Diet Coke, that's it. I'm cheap.
I just want naked women and drugs, but that's just isn't that just what rock stars do?
Hold on,
You're all doing it wrong. You're all doing it wrong.
Not these days.
demanded a hell of a lot. You want 50 fucking puppies, a load of naked women, drugs. What else was there? You probably
Mate,
want the Burger King smuggled
My
in.
talent is worth the effort, though.
My talent
Well,
is
there we
worth the
go.
effort.
I'd have some
So, I don't know.
nice and spicy knickknacks in there as well, because just to be extra rock star. As Ian's going in.
Just a quick question before we go. Let's wrap this up. Quick question, Craig. I don't know. It's probably a question for Gav. It's a quiz question, but I need to know the answer for it. I'm sure I bumped into a Premier League referee the other day, right? His first name's Ian. Is there a Premier League referee that's first name Ian?
Dowell, isn't it? No. Ian Dowell?
Very tall guy, right?
No, you're not
that's
thinking the
still-
commentator. Ian
No,
McDowell or something.
I am.
No, he wasn't a commentator. I don't know
Ian
if he's
Wright.
retired. Last couple of years, Premier League referee. First name Ian,
Last name Cunt.
possibly. Didn't ask.
Leave me out of it.
Leave it. He's
But yeah, that's
got too many prostitutes in Coke.
something to work on, guys. I'm pretty sure
No.
it was him.
Right, anybody out there that's listening, it's at Grizz Can. Let them know if you can think of this referee that none of us can think of. First name Ian.
Or none of us got bothered to Google while we're sitting here.
No.
No.
That's the fun part. Let's try to work it out. Last couple of years, tall chap, about 6 foot. Ian
No.
something.
There's your man that left United. What's his name? Howard fucking...
Howard Webb.
Howard
Yeah.
Webb.
No, it was not Howard Webb. This guy had a full set of hair.
There's Mark Halsey. He retired as well. And then there's your man that fucked
Yeah.
off to America, or what's his name? The young lad that was caught at the Ed Sheeran concert.
Battenborough.
Mark
Ian
Wahlberg.
This
Ian
guy
Davis?
lives. Ian Davis? No, I don't know. This
Ian
guy
Davis?
lives in the posh of like London, well, East London, place
Not
called
that I'm Googling.
Chingford. You know, he lived in a posh place.
Ian
So-
McLeod.
When he had a full head of hair, what colour was it?
No, he's still got a full set of hair.
Yeah, no, what colour is it? You bumped
Silver?
into him, you had to see his hair.
Silver.
What do he
He's
look
taller
like?
than me. He's taller than me, innit? How the fuck am I going to see that? It's about
Was it in
silver.
the cinema?
Just look up.
Yeah, silver. I go for silver.
Fucking hell. How to Kill a Podcast by Grizz.
Fucking
Proper
referees.
question. It's a proper question.
Is it any of these guys?
They're all bald, Ben.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying they got a full set of hair.
No,
But anyway, yeah, we'll work on that.
that.
Hopefully, we'll get the answer by next week's pod.
I think this
I'll
is just
text
fucking
it.
Grizz's imagination, to be honest.
Yeah.
I do.
Either that or
Grizz
Grizz
is
just bumped
Ian-
into some fucking head case that told him he was a referee.
Ian John
No.
Lewis, but he was a boxing referee.
No, he was a Premier League ref.
Oh, fuck. I don't know then.
Lads, we have
So
to
Jeff
end it there.
Winter.
Jeff Winter is a fucking legend. If ever there was a man that liked the sound of his own voice.
Who?
Jeff Winter.
Who's that?
Fuck.
ex-Premier League referee.
So you know Jeff Winter, Ben?
The games
Can
are
I
all
go on a
about
quiz with Ben?
his
I
games
thought he
are
said
all about
Ben.
him. His games are all about him, Ben. He just gave a fuck
Grizz.
about his own voice.
Gav,
Grizz,
I want a quiz with Tino and Ben.
Was it Uriah Rennie?
You get worked. me and her man will be linking up like no one's business.
Oh, right. There we go.
Right, Rennie. I'm going to need a packet of Rennies now.
We're going to go raspberry Nesbitt on you, Grizz. You wait for it, mate. Raspberry Rippler.
Gotta leave it
Right,
there.
call a halt to this, will you?
We'll
I'm
leave
going
it
to
there for
fucking
the
bed.
week, lads. We've a lot coming up this week. We've got a special podcast. We're recording it tomorrow about the ownership of the club. So it's going to be around FSG. Should be interesting. It's a very divisive topic which divides opinion out in the fan base. We also have the quiz, part 2, coming up later on in the week. And if you've listened to part 1, you'll certainly be looking forward to part 2 because I had a meltdown and it was hilarity. We also just want to give a shout out to the lads at 5 Times. They have a couple of shows coming up in Dublin and Belfast on June the 22nd and the 23rd. It's Dublin first, 22nd. You're going to have Big Sammy Hippia and Jersey Dudek. And then the following night in Belfast on the 23rd, same two guys, Jersey Dudek and Sammy Hippia. It'll be at the Limelight in Belfast and the Tivoli Theatre in Dublin. You can get your tickets at 5times.co.uk. There's still regular tickets and meet and greet available. As far as I know, the meet and greets might be a bit low, but they're still available at the minute. If you've ever been to one of the shows, you know how great they are. Meet and greets, you get to meet the lads, get something signed, get a photo with them. They're great nights. Definitely recommend you go if you're around. Pretty much it for us for the week, guys. Huge thanks to Ben, Ian, Grizz, and Gav for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.